heart with straight shots, then pop bottles. Bang all the hood rats, then pop models. Woo! Bye, Jack. I never. This is a great day. It's a great day. I am very excited about this. Very excited about this guy being sent home. This is good. This is good stuff. This is good. This is objectively good. I like this. We're in a good place. So this is good. This is great. We got to talk about this, man. Got to talk about this, man. How's everybody doing? I'm glad to see people in the building before I got here. Thank you very much. Woo! Natalia is next. We hearing good things about Natalia being sent on getting her walking papers after like 15 years of mediocrity. Look, I'm all for getting rid of mediocre folk. Ain't nothing special about no Dijak, man. These dudes been tweeting all day, tweeting like their life on the line, trying to talk about, oh, they fumble Dijak. They fumbled that, man. They ain't fumble a damn thing. The fumble has been paying this fool all this time to produce nothing. To produce nothing. That's what I want. That's what I'm talking about. He has produced nothing. Let's talk about this screenshot he put out, because this is their new favorite thing. When you leave WWE, you go into the notes pad, or you do something and you create a narrative. He's kind of bitter. I like that. I like that. I like that bitterness. Yeah, he liked that job. I like that. You liked that job, huh? You liked it, didn't you, Dijak? All the Take that, son bitch. Triple H finally making good decisions, man. I've never been so happy somebody lost their job. I hate that we ended up with Shawn Spears. I would rather, if to be fair, I would rather have Dijak than Shawn Spears. But Dijak being gone makes me smile. Is great. So he put out this note, and we're gonna go through this thing. Oh, here's the truth. WWE never negotiated with me. They didn't want you, pal. Get out of here, pal. You look like Matt Cardona on stilts. You suck, Dijak. For the record, you garbage. You mid. Super mid. WWE never negotiated with me. Good. Endeavor came in with the good sense. They looked at this guy and was like, this guy produces nothing. No t-shirts, no action figures, no video games, no posters, no trading cards. This guy can't sell a empty box. He can't sell nothing. What do we need this guy for? Why negotiate with him? Just unplug the phone when he calls. Make sure you redirect all his emails into spam. Get him out of here. Full-fledged bum. WWE never negotiated with me. Good. WWE never negotiated with me. We attempted to negotiate, and they stonewalled us. They don't want you. They don't need you. They never made a single offer. Ooh, they told you something. Did you get the picture, Dijak? They didn't even try to lowball this guy. They didn't even send him like, we're gonna offer you a $20 raise or something like that, just to offend you. So you'd be like, I'm about to get over. They didn't even want to raise the cost for Tony. That's how little they cared. They didn't want to jack up the cost for Tony. They could have been like, hey, you know what? We don't want this guy. We'll just offer him something and make Tony Khan match it. Just just to drain his bank account a little bit, even if it's just a little droplet. They didn't even bother doing that. They might as well just walk Dijak in a box up the AEW steps and just left him there, like an abandoned baby. Just leave him right there, like a stork, just drop him right on the goddamn porch of whatever, like Daly's place. You know, just leave him there, like a bando, like Brenda's baby. Throw him in the garbage right outside the venue. We don't want this guy. We don't need this fella. They're gonna put him in a catapult, pull it all the way back, and fire him over the wall at Daly's place. He's gonna land in the middle of the ring. Nobody wants this guy. They never made a single offer. Praise God. Praise God. Then they informed me they would not renew my contract at the 11th hour. That one's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. But they didn't even try to negotiate with this guy. They don't even want to talk about it. No conversation. They saw his contract was coming up. They said, yes, Lord. Let's go ahead and throw that one in the shredder. just go ahead. Go ahead and toss that one. We don't need you, brother. Bye-bye. 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 2 months ago, I was in one of the best matches in NXT history and a top match of WrestleMania weekend. Guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a goddamn. Well, I was in one of the top matches in NXT history. For sure. You was in NXT. You almost 40. Think about that. You've been in this business 10 years almost. 10 years, over 10 years, right? This guy, this fella, this individual, this dude. Are you serious, my friend? Are you, brother? You're tired. You're busted. He says, on that day, a top executive in WWE told me I was crushing it. He was being nice. All right. People would pat you on the back and say, great job, and then cut you 2 months later. That's a dirty game, y'all. They're playing a dirty game, y'all. They playing dirty. They playing dirty. He's on that day, a top executive. It was Shawn Michaels. Come on. We all know that you have a good relationship with Shawn Michaels. It was Shawn Michaels. He was being nice. He knew you was tall for no reason. He knew you was bland as stale Wonder Bread. You all moldy in the locker room in NXT, taking up all this space. Get your ass out of here. He says, I was slated to feud for the NXT title, but I got called up to Raw instead. I consistently outperformed everyone's expectations. Not mine. Not the expectations of MagMongoSlade. You've been well below. I suggested 4 years ago they put a mask on his goof. They finally put a mask on him. He sucked then too. And it's amazing that the most television time he ever got in WWE on that main roster was wearing a mask. T-Bar. And you sucked before he was T-Bar. He sucked when he was in Ring of Honor. This guy's no good. This guy's trash. This guy is yak spit on a hot summer day. Ooh, this guy sucks. I was slated to field for the NXT title. You were going to feud with the NXT title. What was that going to be, Dragunov? You wasn't beating Dragunov, you bum. You got called up to Raw and forgot. They called me up to Raw. Oh, yeah? We found out what Odyssey Jones is doing. Apparently, Odyssey Jones is helping to in the NIL program. That's what he's doing. So that's what Odyssey Jones is doing. Carlos Bravo, thank you very much for your donation. He says Dijak is such a jobber. Oh, he's a big old jobber. He's a jabroni. Jabberello. What a jabroni. Okay. I consistently outperformed everyone's expectations, especially throughout 2023 and early 2024. Get out of here. I never complained about anything or was difficult to work with. You should have complained probably about that T-bar thing, and I think he kind of did. He took pot shots at T-bar all the time. This is ridiculous. I never complained about anything or was difficult to work with. I tirelessly pitched ideas to anyone who would listen. As recently as the day before I was notified, bruh, they were telling you in no uncertain terms to take your ass home. Bro, they were leaving you on red. You was leaving voicemails, they was deleting them as soon as they hear your voice. Hey, this is Donovan Dijak. Press 7 to delete. 7. Get rid of this bum. We got nothing to discuss. We got nothing to talk about. There's no need for dialogue. There's no conversation. Certified bum. This is great. He tirelessly pitched ideas. About you being a ripoff of the big boss man? He says, I never once missed a booking. And I was injured one time in 7 years for 3 months. Okay, I guess you get credit for that. He says, I'm thankful, disappointed, but also excited. This has lit a fire under me to relentlessly prove myself to the world. Just gonna go to AEW and do flips, dog. That's all you're gonna do, man. Go to TNA and do flips. That's it. I'm an agile big guy. Look at me. Where your personality at? You Brian Cage with no muscle. That's exactly what you are. You Brian Cage with no muscles. At least Brian Cage got muscles. You don't even got that. You just pale of face with a weird head. Again, Matt Cardona on stilts. Matt Cardona with extendo legs, with RoboCop legs. Explain to me why I should care about Dijak. I don't care about this man. He says, and I quote, all I ever wanted was a fair shot, and now I have the opportunity to go out and take it. That's enough talk. Now it's time to do or die, Jack. See? Just no personality. My last day under a WWE contract is June 28th, 2024. Bookdijak@gmail.com. Get ready to feast your fucking eyes. This guy, Donovan Dijakovic. Shitty. This guy. Nobody likes the white crayon. Nobody uses the white crayon, Dijak. You Polish, Swedish, fuck you. Yeah, his great ideas involve him doing moonsaults from the top rope, landing on his feet, running around in a circle like he's Adam Cole or some dumb shit like that, and not being able to talk, not being able to emote, and not getting over. Just going in the ring and acting like, what's the Simone Biles? Just going in there acting like Simone Biles. That's all you want to do, brother. And look, do your thing, man. Do your thing, DD. DD. I heard he was. Everybody's up here acting like The Rock leaving or something. I was at my workplace, kind of frustrated, kind of sour. Not really the best day. Kind of things here and there. And then I'm looking on this here Twitter machine. I see people talking about Keith Lee and Dijak having matches in 2024. I'm like, brother, why would you be thinking about that? Why would you even be talking about that? Keith Lee damn near dead. So why would we be talking about that? And then I saw this tweet that Dijak put up saying that he was leaving. Boy, turned my fortunes all the way around. I said, God damn. Today is my lucky day. Today is my lucky day. Man, this dude is leaving, bro. This human hat rack. He's out of here, bro. This dude, he's a lamppost with no electricity. This guy, an unplugged extension cord. You feel me? Jesus, he's as fly as a penguin. I cannot stand this man. I'm very happy that he was on. And everybody's acting like this is such a big deal. Oh, WWE is gonna regret this. Like, what? 100% of the audience won't even know he's missing. Guaranteed. He already ain't been on TV in 2 or 3 months. That's all. AJ3 says in AEW, Dijak is just another big jobber that they feed to Orange Cassidy. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be a tall version of Will Ospreay. He's gonna go out there and try to do all the flips he can do. Never get over, not one bit. Man, see, Shawn Spears needs to. I don't know. Look, he's too new. Like, he literally just came back. I would love it if we got rid of him pretty quickly. But this new regime, with Cody and all these guys, man, I don't know, man. But Dijak, yeah, I'm ready for Dijak to get out of here. Skedaddle. I got that joint bookmarked. All right. I want this day to live in infamy. I'll bookmark that tweet. All right. So he did say this, and I'm actually going to be on his side a little bit. He says, to celebrate WWE no longer taking half of my cameo money, I am cutting my current price in half to $49. Get ratioed, bitches. Now, wait a minute. Half? Half is a lot, bro. I'm not, no, half is a lot. Half is a whole lot to take out of. But then again, man, I guess you don't want people to give any credence to this guy. No credence at all. Kayla Braxton leaving too. Yeah, I did. I saw that. I'm not tripping. Oh, Natalia's leaving too. I'm not seeing anything official. It says the well, somebody lied. They said she took all the WWE references out of her Twitter bio. It turns out she never had any. WG Phil says he's in Florida for vacation. You gonna see some porn XT baddies. Man, if you catch a glimpse of that Jada Parker, Tell her I love her. Tell her your friend wants to talk to her. Yeah, that Cody politic boy, he became world champion. All of a sudden, his friends got a get out of jail free card. Boy, they just started flooding in. As soon as goddamn Cody won that belt, all of a sudden, just bums all over the place. You see, QT Marshall, he tried to come in before that title switch. They was like, nah, we ain't sure we doing that yet. You know, like they was gonna do the Rock, so they like, nah, we don't QT, nah, pass. As soon as that title switch, here comes Shawn Spears and Ethan Page. I'm like, damn it, man. I ain't mad at Ethan Page though. He's just bland. But Shawn Spears, the shits. Wasn't Dijak a Triple H guy? Well, if he is, he's not an Endeavor guy. Now he's an unemployed guy. I love it. He seemed like the kind of guy Triple H would like, though, if we being honest. I'm surprised as well that he's not utilized. But then again, none of Triple H's guys have been getting over. All these small foot European guys, none of them getting over. I mean, it is what it is. I would rather have Dijak than some of these small foot European dudes, but I ain't gonna have near the party when like Tyler Bate or Pete Dunne get cut because it's not gonna be as much fun. No, not nearly as much fun. Humble 85, hello. Says both NXT and AEW cannot hit 1 million viewers. People need to be mad about that. Wrestling is dying. I ain't tripping on that. I'm not surprised. You see they put Shawn Spears in the main event of NXT this week. Clearly, they didn't want viewers. They did not want viewers at all by doing that. And then AEW decided they was going to put the Gates of Agony in the main event. Hey, what was they thinking? What drugs are they on? You know, that seems goofy. And they got what they asked for. Mr. Majestic 13 says Donovan Dijak is AEW bound. Dijak going to TNA Wrestling with TNA's partnership with WWE makes no sense. He might as well stay in the WWE if that's the case. They did not negotiate with him. They didn't want him. It's not an issue about he didn't want them. They didn't want him. And that's what's giving me so much joy. Because he wanted to stay. But they wanted to change the locks. They like, nah. No. You know how no is no in every language? There is no language where no is different than no. You can say no anywhere. So they made it very, very apparent they don't want that food. They didn't negotiate with them. They didn't even tell them they weren't going to bring them back until a couple days ago. They're like, hey, my contract's running out. They're like, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, funny that, huh? Uh-huh. Everybody nudging each other. They in on the joke except him. He's walking around like the guy at the office, like, hey man, my contract's about to come up, huh? better get to negotiations. call my agent. They're like, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Yeah. Contract. Yeah. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna give you a great pitch. Not a chance. Not a chance. You have no chance. M Studio says there's a lot of Karrion Kross slander on Twitter. Fans are wishing him to get fired over Dijak. I would be I wouldn't be thrilled about Karrion Kross being fired, but it would be obvious. He's not over with the audience. You know, he's not over. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. But here's the thing. Karrion Kross can talk at the very least. Dijak can't even do that. He can't even do that. He can't even use words right. The saying says, I would like to see Bianca Belair go down to NXT. She ain't been gone long enough for me. She's only been up on the main roster for 4 years. 2 more years, she can go back as an NXT legend or whatever. She could do a match here and there on NXT, but they'll have to build somebody up for her to wrestle that might actually be interesting. I say give like Kalani Jordan some time, or Jada Parker some time, or even Lola Vice, and then she can go on there and work with them. But she's not far enough away, I think. Donovan Dijak, the next member of Chris Jericho's Learning Tree faction. Oh God, what's the difference between him and Big Bill? What's the difference? Big Bill got muscles and longer hair? Huh. Do you think there will be any more releases heading into SummerSlam or after? It's looking like there's not going to be any releases. It looks like they're just choosing to not re-sign certain people now. Like Vince would have did the honorable thing and just told people you were fired. Bye. Now Triple H is just they're pulling a Tony Khan. They're ghosting people. You know, they're just going to decide to just not answer the phone. They're just going to decide to not answer the emails, to block you and not tell you. And then last minute, they send you some kind of snail mail message saying, oh, yeah, we're not going to renew your contract. Sorry. See you later. Don't come back. Thanks for all the memories. Best of luck in your future endeavors. When them dudes was getting that band hammer from Vince, ooh-wee, that's when the tears started to flow. That's what had Cameron Grimes out here crying. Man, it's one thing to be like, this thing ain't working out. We're just going to let you run out your contract. That's what happened with Dijak. That was very honorable. When you get that hammer, they say, I don't care how much time you got left on that contract, brother, we don't want you. I don't want you no more. That's wonderful. Wonderful. That Hoyt. That Hoyt. They did not. They lost 100K. What happened? Maybe Triple H isn't as bad as you thought. He brought in Shawn Spears. He's worse. I don't think he's in full control. I think he's being forced to make some kind of budgetary restructure. There's going to be some more people leaving. I wouldn't be surprised if Ricochet leaving was probably in the cards and probably something they wanted to orchestrate. Because they want to, Endeavor is all about money. And these corporations, all they care about is money. This is the part where everybody's going to wish Vince was still there. Because Vince didn't have any problem paying the talent. Vince didn't have any problem, changing a person's contract, paying them more. These venture capitalists, all these dudes who only care about the cash. These dudes are not sentimental about wrestlers. That's like they weren't sentimental about production guys when they went through cutting all of them, firing all of them, and ran Kevin Dunn up out of that joint. They're not going to be sentimental about these cuts. They're probably going to get Triple H to, if anything, Triple H is probably the reason why Dijak was not cut. That he, got to stick around until his contract rolled out. Which is probably Triple H looking out for him. But I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some of these guys that Triple H just can't control. I wouldn't be surprised if for every one he tries to sign, they make him get rid of 2 or 3. Ike the Don says Tyler Bate reminds me of Danielson. If only he had charisma and wasn't small. If only he didn't work small. See, Danielson is a small foot guy. He's like 5'8". but he works big and he has a personality. I like him. If Tyler Bate has a personality or he found one, I would like him. I would be okay. Right now, he's boring as shit. Like, I don't know. I think I deleted a lot of the NXT UK reviews I used to do because nobody was watching them. But I would talk about how great he was on that show. You know, just from an in-ring perspective, like you just want to watch matches, Tyler Bate was great. But then they started doing this yin-yang monk shit with him, and I was like, this guy is boring. You know, he's got nothing going on. They're doing outside the ring stuff with him to try to make him interesting. This guy it's not working. Just like I hate Johnny Gargano, but I like the way, right? Like the way was funny. It was fun. It was cool. I didn't mind it. But what he's doing now is terrible. P. Dunne. I thought Butch was hilarious. I don't know what this is that they're doing here, though. You know, like this is no good. Triple H, gotta have new Cash Republic, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Starks, and DIY, more TV time over people like Santos Escobar, Omos, and Karrion Kross. Santos Escobar, boy, that poor fella. He's actually got something. And they absolutely will not. They refuse to cut him some slack. They will not cut him some slack at all, Santos Escobar. I'm surprised Omos still got a job too. Anyone with muscles or 7 foot tall are bums for life. That's AEW's motto right there. You're too tall to win a match in AEW. Dijak is way too tall to win matches. Way too tall. However, the networks want viewers and high advertising dollars. Wrestling needs to become mainstream again. Well, the thing about that is when it was mainstream the first time, it did nothing but attract boycotts and weirdos. I don't know what you can do. I honestly don't know what the answer to the equation is. But it's I'm glad people are starting to smarten up. My last final review of Who Killed WCW is probably going to be the last time I even discuss the subject of WCW and it's going out of business. Everything time after that, I want to talk about like mid-90s night of Clash of Champions, which I've been watching on the network. I just watched Doom versus the Steiner Brothers from Clash of Champions. What was that? 9 or 10? Coastal Clash. Everybody in that match ruled ass, bro. And when we talk about WCW, we don't talk about that. You still be talking about, you know, Russo and the Natural Born Thrillers. Get the fuck out of here. M Studio says, to be honest, the reason why Kross isn't over because he barely gets TV time. All of his segments are pre-tapes. For me, it's hard to get over if you're not cutting promos in front of a live crowd. You know, that's a good point. Maybe he should cut promos in front of a live crowd. But I also think that part of it is how he's been presented. He's been presented as a middle guy. And I believe that it was the same thing with Mark Henry. If you have a big guy and you book him like he's a big guy, like part of the reason it took Mark Henry so long to get over is because he wasn't being booked like a monster. He looks like one. And the easiest story to tell is the one people can see. You see a gigantic monster and you don't treat him like that. Instead, you treat him like a teddy bear. Then people take him like a teddy bear. You know, perception is reality. If Karrion Kross was feuding with Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre or CM Punk or Seth Rollins or somebody on that level, he probably would be getting crowd reactions. But instead, he's been feuding with like Shinsuke Nakamura and, well, Rey Mysterio's pretty high too, but they haven't been doing much of anything with him. And now he's feuding with New Day. It's like he's not in the run for any championships. He's not in the running for anything major. So why should people invest time? There's no real reason to invest time. I agree. Dijak deserves less. Dijak deserves less. I am okay. I am okay with Dijak not being brought back, and I'm sick of people acting like it's a problem. There is nothing wrong with letting Dijak go back home. Tony Khan is gonna make that guy very, very rich. So him being upset, he should actually cool out. Tony Khan's gonna make you very rich, my guy. And you're gonna show up and you're gonna be working Collision, and you're gonna be very happy to work Collision. And Collision is gonna be your show. By golly. I can tell you that right now. Collision's gonna do wonders with you on it. Woka King says, to be fair to Triple H, I would also want to heard any of them crying and whining about working so hard for this. They all do. Everybody works hard. That's the thing that kind of trips me out. I worked so hard. It's like, and other people didn't, bro. Everybody's busting ass, bro. Everybody is trying to get it in. Everybody's trying to make as much as possible, do as much as possible. Everybody. Steve Ose says, I'm not really bothered about losing Dijak. I just found it odd that he got called up to Raw just to not negotiate another deal. I'm not surprised, if we being honest, that they did that. He was brought up with no plan, which they said they weren't going to do, and they did it anyway. Because Triple H is no different than Vince. Woken King says, I'm kind of sad that Vince quit, only for Triple H to still be a stooge. He's a stooge. He's a stooge for who, though? Endeavor TKO don't care about the UFC fighters. Well, they probably care less about the wrestlers than they care about the UFC fighters. At least some of these UFC fighters are suing them for money. Ain't no pro wrestler suing them for money yet. Maybe in 15 years or something, 20 years. AJ3 says, thank goodness for Tony Khan not making AEW public, but for how long? Well, he's got enough cash to keep that thing floating forever. And I don't think he wants to have to answer to anybody except his dad, which is smart. Crossface Ray says, I think that would make me happy if DIY got fired. The thing is, I actually like Ciampa, and I think Ciampa has something. He has an interesting look. He's small, but he's ripped, and he has an intimidating persona, tough guy persona. I like it. I liked him in NXT. Thought he might have something in his Raw run, but this DIY thing is a disaster because he's hanging out with Johnny Gargano, and oh my God, a cornier person you could not find. Pete Dunne got exposed the worst of the whole NXT UK roster. Yeah, he's a fraud for sure. He's a fraud for sure. That crowd really liked him, but everybody else seems to think that he's boring as hell. Sexual Chocolate was over, bro. Well, that's true. He was over, but he was also a comedy act. Karrion feuded with Drew last year. It wasn't really a feud. They did they did a couple of segments when Drew was on the downslope, and then Drew just beat him, and that was pretty much it. It didn't really go anywhere. It wasn't even meant to elevate anybody. It just feels like a holdover when you're tied up with Karrion Kross. It doesn't feel like you're in the middle of a big feud. It just feels like you're in the middle of some bullshit. Kross does MMA. He definitely deserves better. Yeah, my thing is, it would be nice if he could get more, just a little bit more. Love Girl 788 says Ricky Starks is definitely coming to WWE because they are not using him well, and he's not on TV anymore. So he's probably going to be in NXT or Raw. If he was smart, he would go to NXT first. I know he's 34, maybe you don't want to, waste too much time on NXT, but he could probably make an immediate impact on NXT as opposed to being dumped in the mid card of Monday Night Raw. Go to NXT and draw some viewers, man. Mix it up with some of those young dudes. Like the Don says, that's why the Hall of Pain worked. They made people take Mark Henry seriously. Yes, that's really all you got to do with big guys. Put them in a position for people to take them seriously. Going 50-50 with people is not going to work. And that's what Karrion Kross been doing. He's been winning by disqualification. Well, not disqualified, but distractions. Going 50-50 with people. Nah, man. He should. When he first came back, they put him in a feud with like Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. It looked like that's the direction they were going in. And then that just fell out of nowhere. It went nowhere. So, very unfortunate. Yeah, Kross, shit. I thought, and you could probably go back to some of the old videos I did in like 2020. I was like, shit, Kross is going to main event WrestleMania, bro. It just seemed like he got everything that a WWE audience will like. He's big, he's jacked, he has interesting facial expressions. He's got a hot girl with him. He looks legitimately crazy. Some people have said, oh, he needs to shave his head and all this kind of stuff. I don't know, man. But I'm just kind of floored about the fact that it's not working. And the fact that Dijak is gone, though, is great, though. That's great. The 1EB. You think it's time to give up on Keith Lee? Well, yes. I don't know where he is. I know he tweeted about Dijak leaving, but where did he go? Is he still alive? Well, he's clearly still alive, but that seems to be Karrion and Drew feuded in 2022. Well, that was a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago. Didn't he spend like most of that summer losing to Nakamura? Oh my God. In AEW, everyone is too nice to stand up for themselves. Well, the clique is taking over. So I definitely think Ricky Starks needs to be on NXT, especially since NXT is about to be on network television for a while. I would have him in NXT for like 8 months. Clear up your top mid card / main event scene, and then move him up to probably to Raw then. When you got a spot as an Intercontinental Champion or US Champion or something like that you can put him in, I would go that route. But I would leave him in NXT for a while. Is anyone interested in Cody Rhodes' title run right now? I like Cody, but I care more about Priest's title run. Ooh. It's an interesting deal because I don't think either one of them is that interesting right now. I think both of them are kind of light. Cody is now, they're trying to mix him in with the bloodline. They're looping back to that. I guess they want to do Cody and Solo Sikoa at SummerSlam. That match only makes sense if Roman returns at that show. A lot of people want Roman to show up at Money in the Bank. I think it makes more sense for him to make his return at SummerSlam. But usually, if a guy loses the title at WrestleMania and he goes on that vacation, he usually don't come back till SummerSlam anyway, or around Survivor Series. That's when Bret Hart came back. He didn't come back till around Survivor Series. So, but it seems like they might want to do the long run to Survivor Series. But also, Roman's dad just died, so it's probably not about to happen. Yeah, they started doing all these promos for Shinsuke, and then they just stopped. They were doing all these promos for Nakamura about what he's going to do and all this stuff, and then they just stopped. Dijak quit. Oh, no, he didn't quit. They refused to negotiate with that brother. They didn't. He was calling them on the phone. They weren't answering. They was leaving brother on red. You feel me? Ooh. He wanted to send his email with a note letting you know that you saw it. Get out of here. The Red Whirlpool says, my uncle made a joke about Tony Khan booking a 2-hour match between Zack Sabre Jr. and Kyle O'Reilly. It would take up a whole Collision taping. That's what it feels like, and that match just took place on Dynamite, and it felt like it was 2 hours. It's crazy because I can sit down. The crazy thing is, I don't even hate grabs. Like, people think that I'm a guy that hates wrestling. I don't hate wrestling. I love wrestling. I watch wrestling even in my spare time. I'm watching Mid-Atlantic right now while I'm talking to you guys. Jake the Snake Roberts and Ricky Steamboat are tag team partners in this match. The thing is, I have to care about the people involved, or I have to find something interesting about it. Like, there's only so much of this kind of shit I can watch. This is 43 minutes. Dynamite is 2 hours, bro. Raw is 3 hours. You know, like, you're going to have to, you know, when I watch like those old Japanese matches and stuff like that, those matches are like 40 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever. And then you get it out of your system and you go away. You know? But when you tell me it's going to be 6 hours of this, no, I'm not interested. When 3-6 Mafia sang Mark Henry to the ring on SmackDown, he looks like the baddest brother on the block. Yeah, man, that theme song speaks for itself, though. I love it. It's not working for Kross because modern incel wrestling fans hate him for having the girl and the looks. Women see him as not available because of his girl. That's kind of a good point. I don't know about taking the girl away though. I don't think is she a distraction? Is she pulling a Mark Merrow that when you see Scarlett you don't think about Kross too much? You want to see more of Scarlett? Because if that's the case, then we just need to find something else for Scarlett to do. Maybe she needs to wrestle. You know, he should probably. It would be nice if the Final Testament feuded with Judgment Day. These are two groups with similar aesthetic anyway. I don't understand why you have to have both on the same show. They have the same aesthetic. I hope WWE wrestlers be happy. I do know. I don't know. Triple H has the Watts, Jim Crockett, Sam Mushnick type of booking. I'm not so sure about that. I'll think about that one. I don't know if I'll go that far. Who do you think the champion will be when NXT moves to CW? Well, I think that's why I say it's probably best for Ricky Starks to be the guy. I think you should want a champion that has experience, but is fresh and adds something to the product. So either Trick Williams probably won't be the champion that long. I mean, if we're being honest. They're not going on CW till October. He won the title in May? So like late April, early May. He's probably going to drop it within the next couple of weeks anyway. It's not going to be at Heatwave, but it'll probably be the event afterwards. He's probably going to drop it. So maybe Ethan Page is a good opponent, a good champion, and then you have Ricky Starks come in to challenge him. You know, but what you do with Trick at that point, he could probably be doing some off-title stuff. M Studio says he liked the archetype videos I did back in 2021. Yeah, I should go back to doing those, huh? I should go back to doing those. What was the purpose of bringing back AOP and Paul Ellering? Good question, because I have no earthly idea. And Paul Ellering is very, very old. And since he's so very, very old, it seems weird that you would make that old man get on an airplane to fly wherever in this country, on this country, just to do nothing. Like, my thing was, it'd probably be better if it was Paul Ellering and Karrion Kross, you know, with no Scarlett and AOP, you know. Or it might just be better if it was Scarlett and AOP. Like, you can mix up the aesthetic, you know. And I think that might be fun. crazy thing is, man, Kross is very cool. I know I'm caping a lot for a dude, but he's very cool, man. I'm a big fan of that guy. I need him to get over, man. I don't know if I was booking, I'd smash him over. You know, like just go 5 or 6 weeks with him just kicking people's shit in. He's gonna get over. Teach the audience that this is a badass dude. He's not gonna take not one bump, and he's not gonna take not one attack. He just come in, put Drew on his ass, put Priest on his ass, put Seth on his ass, week after week after week until he get him over. I like him that much. That's what they're doing with Braun Breaker. You know, Braun ain't getting laid out after segments. At least I don't think so. I don't think he got laid out after a segment yet. He's coming in, he's bruising dudes, and he's getting over. His theme song trash though. Theme song trash as fuck. Everybody can't believe booked the same way though. Do I think the Alexa Bliss is coming back with the Wyatt 6? I believe so. I think that's probably what Triple H wants to do with her. I think Alexa Bliss and Carmella and people like that are definitely going to be on thin ice with Triple H because they're not wrestling wrestlers. And that's the same thing I think with, Liv Morgan. I'm surprised. If it wasn't for this Dominic stuff, she probably wouldn't even be on TV. And she's good at it. She's actually, as good as you can be at this. But Alexa Bliss, bro, her and Liv Morgan are basically the same character. So her coming back and doing some kind of spooky shit with the Wyatts is probably the best way to keep her on TV under a Triple H regime. Because I don't think she comes across like a Vince McMahon girl to me. And so does Carmella. I don't see either one of them getting pushed. Hey, old people can do anything. We have a brain dead old man as president. We had brain dead old senators too. It's very unfortunate. M Studio says, I think WWE should putting the belt on Gunther. I would much rather have Gunther do non-title feuds and do character stuff before he wins the world title. I think Triple H is in love with that guy. He's going to be world champion by November. I think. I wouldn't be surprised if he don't win it at SummerSlam. And the thing is actually it might backfire later on. Because if you condition people that Gunther can only be interested with a title, then people are not going to take him seriously when he doesn't have one. Like his entire run on the main roster, he's been champion for most of that time. And then he lost the Intercontinental Championship. He immediately won the King of the Ring. So they're keeping him with stats. The problem is, I think they're going to end up booking him kind of like a Harley Race, which could work. But his off-title stuff is going to be really weird because it's going to be like, what is he going to feud with people about if championships is not on the line? What is that blood feud with Gunther going to look like? Oh, shit. Abdullah just come in and just start stabbing motherfuckers. What the hell? Jay, that's me, says Forbidden Door will be 6 hours long. Do you think Forbidden Door as a concept needs to end? I think that it's the only thing that really works for AEW. See, here's a weird thing. I'm glad this is a good transition. Tony Khan was on Fox Business, right? This absolutely absurd graphic comes up, ticker at the bottom. Says 500 plus million people attended 110 plus AEW events in 2024. That's ridiculous. Those numbers make no sense. There's nowhere near truth in that. According to somebody, I forget who the guy on Twitter was, but he went to WrestleTix and actually added up every month, and put the totals for the month, and says for the year thus far, It's been 194,404, according to WrestleTix. So these dudes have doubled their numbers for this Fox Sports Business graphic. But just for shits and giggles, I looked at, because I also heard that Tony Khan said they're expecting 10,000 people for Forbidden Door this year. And I was like, that's interesting. I didn't hear about anything about them having 10,000 people in the building. They're close to doing $1 million gate, according to Tony Khan. So I went to WrestleTix and I looked. As of today, UBS Arena in New York, Long Island, 9,375 tickets sold. They got 1,485 remaining, a setup of 10,860. So they may get 10,000 by bell time. So it's not that far off. But here's the thing. Last year's Forbidden Door, 12,958 in Toronto. So their attendance is going down year over year for the same show. So, and that show was sold out. That 12,958 in Toronto. This one might sell out, but if it sells out, it's still gonna sell out at 10,000, which is lower than 12,000. Clearly, Tony Khan went on Fox Sports. I'm talking about Fox Business, I should say, and blew nothing but smoke. Barely answered any questions. In fact, answered no questions. Kissed David Zaslav's feet. Called him a great boss 5 or 6 times. Well, probably more like 2 or 3. Didn't say anything of note. Still no word on Ricochet's release. Close. He and Dijak could relieve some of their PWG matches on the Indies or AEW. Yeah. Well, as far as I know, and as far as anybody knows, he's already leaving. He put in his notice, so he's actually quitting. You know? He's actually walking away. All right. Is that it? That's all you got? That's all you guys got? I'm partied out with with Dijak. So thanks everybody for stopping by, man. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.